everyone, my name is Emily and I'd like to welcome you to my channel. Today I want to introduce you to the Statues book, also known as the Armor Stand book. So let's get started. Alright, so first things first, we're going to need the armor stands. Then we're going to go directly to page 1. This is our table of contents, and every word on this page jumps directly to that page so that you can use this as kind of a quick way to navigate through the book. So the first thing I want to do is go into the styles, and this is going to be a little statue on this block. So I want to take the base plate off, then give him some arms, make him small, and then I always like to turn off the gravity. I like to do this because it just guarantees that if I ever make a mistake and accidentally break the block below him, it's not going to fall to the ground, and then I'd have to start all over. So it's just kind of a safety net for me. The next thing I want to do is I want to go into the presets and give him a pose. So we're just going to go with randomized pose, but all of these things are just different things that you can pick so you don't have to go and manually do all of the positioning of the arms and legs yourself. That one's a little funky, but we're going to go with it. All right, so now we're going to get him dressed. And give him a head. Alrighty then. This position is silly, but we're going to go with a different randomized. There we go. I guess he wants to dance today. So now that we have our statue in a pose that we like, but say maybe we don't like the position on the block that he's in. Now we're going to go to the nudge page. This page is going to allow us to nudge him into whatever position we would like. So before we go ahead and nudge him into a different position, I first want to explain how this works. So I have added the Chords HUD from Vanilla Tweaks. It's about a data pack that you can get on Vanilla Tweaks, and I will link that in the description below so that we can see which direction I am facing. You can also do this with F3. As you can see, I am facing east towards positive X. So now that I know that east is positive X, if I choose to move my armor stand closer to the wall, then I'm going to move him to positive X. So I would go to nudge and then positive X, and we're going to go 3 positions. And now he has moved closer to the wall, as you can see. So if east is positive X, then west is negative X. South is positive Z and north is negative Z. So we're going to move him to the south. And we're going to move him pretty far this time. So we're going to go positive Z and we're going to go 8. So it moves him quite a bit over it. It moves him kind of in between the 2 blocks. Now I can also move him up and down. Because I turned the gravity off, this means that if he goes into a different block space, it's not going to fall. And if I choose to go up and the gravity is on, then he'll just jump and come right back down instead of staying in the position that I've asked him to go. So we're going to go positive 1. Not quite far enough, so we're going to do that again, so that he's a bit off the table. And it just kind of looks like he's leaping. Now I've decided that I really like this and I want to keep it forever. So then I'm going to go to the utilities option And here we have the options to mirror his arms and legs, which is basically to make them look the same, to flip him, so facing one direction to another, or these functions here, which allow us to either copy what he's doing so that we can paste it to the next armor stand, so we're going to copy so that you guys can see how that works. Place an armor stand. Now click on this armor stand, and we're going to go Utilities, Paste. And it puts that armor stand in the exact same position as the one that I copied prior. Now I want to lock this guy into position, so I'm going to go back to the Utilities page and I'm going to lock him. This will allow it so that I can no longer interact with this armor stand. He is stuck in position. And I also cannot take anything off the armor stand. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is actually one of my favorite things to do when I'm making a workroom or a closet or really anything where I would put tools or weapons. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to put a trap wire hook on the wall. And then you're going to, in the block above that, you're going to place the armor stand and it's going to fall in front of the trap wire hook. Now you can put, the trap wire hook does not have to be just level with the top of the armor stand. It just has to be above the armor stand. And this one is very, very simple. So we're going to go to the auto align. And then we're going to click tool rack, which makes our armor stand disappear, but then we can use it as a tool rack to interact. We can take our tools in and out. This will also take other blocks. Not like that. All right, so moving on to the next thing. We're going to put a block on the surface of this birch plank right here. So the first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to have to go into styles and we're going to have to give it arms because the armor stand can't hold anything if it doesn't have arms. Then we're going to give it the block that we choose for it to hold. We're going to give it a composter. We're going to give it a composter because we're going to do something a little more complicated with it on the next step. But I like to use composters as little mini trash cans. But in this case, we're going to use it as a flower pot. So then this is super simple. You just go to auto align and then block on surface. And then your block is just going to go on the surface. Oh, sometimes it steals it. There we go. Now we are going to go to utilities and we are going to lock this into place. Because we've locked that armor stand, we can now put another armor stand on top. Then we're going to go ahead and give this guy arms again. And this time we're going to give him a 2-high flower. We're going to give him these rose bushes. Now we're going to go to styles and we are going to turn off the gravity. Then auto align, and we're actually going to do item on surface. This is going to make our item stand straight up. Now you can't really see it very well for 2 reasons. It's dark because the armor stand itself is actually standing in the blocks behind the block that it is sitting on. You can fix that 2 ways. You can either take the block that is behind it away so that the armor stand has light on it, or you can move the armor stand so that it's no longer hiding in the block behind it. So we're going to nudge this guy forward. Now we want to move it towards us and we are still facing east. So that means we need to go to -X so that the item in the armor stand will move to the west. And we just kind of want to go one at a time because we don't want it to come too far. There we go. And now our roses are red again. Now we're going to nudge it up so that it actually looks like it's sitting in the flower pot. So we're going to do that. We know it needs to come up quite a bit. So we'll go 3 at first. And then we'll just nudge it one at a time. Until we're happy with the position. All right, and I'm actually fairly satisfied with that. So now I'm going to lock my armor stand in place so that I have this really cute 2-high flower in a flower pot on this table. Beautiful. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is actually make a dinner plate. So first we're gonna use a weighted pressure plate as our plate because it sits up off the table a nice distance and it's a nice white color because it's made of iron. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put an armor stand on it. Now sometimes you have to click above the block that the pressure plate is on so that you can drop the armor stand on top of it. Next we're going to give it some arms, and we're going to give it a piece of chicken to hold. We're going to turn off our gravity just to be safe, and then we're going to go auto align and item flat on surface. Now we have our chicken on our plate, but I think I want to add some string beans. We're going to nudge this guy over a little bit. Now we are still facing east, and I want this to go a little bit to the left. So it needs to go north, so towards -Z. So we're going to go 3, and then I think I want it to sit up a little bit more. Therefore, we're going to take it and we're going to nudge it towards +X. All right, now we are going to lock that in place. And plop down another item's armor stand on top. We're going to give this guy some arms too. And we're going to give him some sugar cane as our green beans. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing. We're going to auto line item on flat on surface. This time we want this to go to the right of us. So it's going to go to the south, which is +Z. We just went +Y, so we're going to have to nudge that back down. Now we're going to move it a little bit towards us, so it needs to come to the west, and that would be -X. All right, and then I think if we add a baked potato to this meal, it would be complete. So first, we need to lock the armor stand that we're working on, or else the book could interfere with which armor stand we're working with, and we might move the wrong one. So we always want to lock an armor stand when we're finished with it, unless we're going to be taking armor off of it. The only exception to this is tool racks, because they are already able to be interacted with, and a little more difficult to remove. So we're going to lock our armor stand and we're going to plop down one more. And we're going to repeat the process. Give him some arms. And a potato. Auto align, item flat on surface. Now we're going to nudge it into the position that we would like it in. I would like it to be in the upper right hand corner. So first I'm going to move it up a little bit from me, which is east, so positive X. And then I want it to go right to the south, which is positive Z. And now I'm going to lock it into place. All right, so now that we have our beautiful vase and our fancy dinner, all we need to complete it is a nice candle on a candlestick. And you have a beautiful dinner for one. And that's where we're going to end today's video. If you found this helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more armor stand videos. Thanks for watching. Happy building. Bye.